Jamie!
Hey,
Yay!
Jamie!
Woo! Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to jump right into the next comedian. Thinkerer promised he'd have some material for us tonight.
And
So
indeed,
Ooh!
Hell, if
Can't
that's
wait
the
to see
case,
this.
I'm not even going to sit down. Okay, here we go.
Thinker's usually up in the rafters, everybody. Like you're seeing him for the first time. He's been here the whole time. He's up there.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
hangs up there.
Well, I gathered some material, and so I'm going to go over it. And I don't really know how to do it, but I will just make it up as I go along.
Okay.
Just like anybody else. Okay.
You're old, nobody will notice. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll just think
yeah.
you're having a moment or something.
Yes. Well, you got to understand, I'm 85 years old, so I could have a senior moment once in a while.
Absolutely.
Yay.
You heard it.
And so this is a collection of miscellaneous content. Stop. Remarks, and then I've got a little one here about when insults had class, but I've got a first one. Well, let's see. It's sort of observations. Like this fellow says, I asked God for a bike. I know God doesn't work that way, so I stole a bike and asked for forgiveness.
That's how he
of observation like that. Let's see. Do not argue with an idiot. He will drag you down to his level and beat you with experience. Light travels faster than sound. This is why some people appear bright until you hear them speak.
Okay.
If I agreed with you, we'd both be wrong. We never really grow up. We only learn how to act in public.
That's it. What does maturity mean? That's it right there.
Now let's go down to the insults. This is classy insults, and these are actually some insults with historical background some kind. A member of parliament said to Disraeli, "Sir, you will either die on the gallows or of some unspeakable disease." "That depends, sir," said Disraeli, "on whether I embrace your policies or your mistress."
Oh.
And let's see, he had delusions of adequacy. Winston Churchill said this one. He has all of the virtues I dislike, and none of the vices I admire. And Terence Darrow once observed, "I have never killed a man, but I have read many obituaries with great pleasure."
I love that one.
And this is a good historical one. William Faulkner observed about Ernest Hemingway, "He has never been known to use a word that might send a reader to the dictionary."
That's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. And, well, this is an unknown person, but thank you for sending me a copy of your book. I'll waste no time reading it.
Okay.
And Mark Twain observed on one occasion, "I didn't attend the funeral, but I sent a nice letter saying I approved of it."
Yep, that's in one of the 11th grade literatures. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think, or do you know the famous one of Winston Churchill when he was at a party with a lady that got in an argument with him?
Yes, but go ahead and tell it.
Okay. Winston Churchill was at a party, and this lady had hated him, and they got into a terrible argument, and she said to Winston Churchill, "If you were my husband, I'd poison your tea." And Mr. Churchill said, "Madam, if you are my wife, I drink it."
And George Bernard Shaw, it is said, the story is told, on one occasion was sitting next to a beautiful actress, and she said to him, "Mr. Shaw, we should have children. With my looks and your brains, the child would be great." And Shaw said, "Yes, madam, but suppose that he had my looks and your brains." And let's see, Oscar Wilde observed, he has no enemies, but is intensely disliked by his friends. And here is speaking of Shaw, here is an exchange between Winston Churchill and Bernard Shaw. "I am enclosing 2 tickets to the first night of my play. Bring a friend if you have one." And Winston Churchill replied, "Cannot possibly attend the first night. Will attend the second, if there is one."
Good one. Good one.
And let's see, "I feel so miserable without you. It's almost like having you here."
I love that.
And he is a self-made man and worships his creator.
Uh-huh.
I like that.
And let's see, "I've just learned about his illness. I hope it's nothing trivial."
Ooh, burn.
Hey, good one,
Burn.
buddy.
"He is simply a shiver looking for a spine to run up."
Okay.
In order to avoid being called a flirt, she always yielded easily.
Okay.
And let's see, how about this one? "He loves nature in spite of what it did to him." And Mark Twain again, "Why do you sit there looking like an envelope without any address on it?"
I love that.
And then there's a famous line by Mae West. His mother should have thrown him away and kept the stork."
Cute.
And let's see, I have one, let's see, let me tend to that one. And there's one other item. This is a lengthy story, but I think I'm going to, now, everybody will have to avoid laughing, or I will burst out laughing as I read this. So nobody must laugh. Because I have not practiced this recently, so and if I burst out laughing, try to be kind. Remember, I have not read this recently, so I'm not as well practiced as I need to be to do it. And this is a letter from Grandma to her granddaughter. Grandma is well about my age, and she still drives her own car. And she writes to her grandmother, "The other day I went out to our local Christian bookstore and saw a 'Hawk if you love Jesus' bumper sticker. I was feeling particularly sassy that day because I had just come from a thrilling choir performance, followed by a thunderous prayer meeting. So I bought the sticker and put it on the bumper of my car. Boy, I'm glad I did. What an uplifting experience followed. I was stopped at a red light at a busy intersection. I was just lost in thought about the Lord and how good He is, and I didn't notice that the light had changed. It's a good thing that somebody else loves Jesus because if he hadn't honked, I would never have noticed. I found lots of people love Jesus. While I was sitting there, the guy behind me started honking like crazy, and then he leaned out of the window and screamed, "For the love of God, go! Go! Jesus Christ, go!" What an exuberant cheerleader he was for Jesus. Everyone started honking. I leaned out of my window and started waving and smiling to all of those lovely people. I even honked my horn a few times to share the love. There must have been a man from Florida back there, because I heard him yelling something about a sunny beach. I saw another man waving in a funny way, with only his middle fingers stuck in the air. I asked Joy, your 15-year-old cousin, in the back seat, what that meant. He said, "It's probably a Hawaiian good luck sign or something." Well,
Okay.
I have never met anyone from Hawaii, so I leaned out the window, gave him the good luck sign right back. Joey burst out laughing. Why, even he was enjoying this religious experience. A couple of the people were so caught up in the joy of the moment, they got out of their cars and started walking towards me. I'll bet they wanted to pray and ask what church I attended. This is when I noticed that the light had changed. So I waved at all my brothers and sisters, grinning, and drove on through the intersection. I noticed that I was the only car that got through the intersection before the light changed again, and felt kind of sad that I had to leave them. all the love we had shared. So I slowed the car down and leaned out the window and gave them the Hawaiian good luck sign one last time as I drove away. Praise the Lord for such wonderful folks.
Woo, is that it?
That's it.
Woo, all right. Well, looks like we made it through the whole show.